In other free agent news, Russell Wilson is now released. Now we're looking at the top 3 quarterbacks for free agency. Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, Baker Mayfield, all on the block currently. This is 2 years into his $246.2 million contract.
Life is good.
$85 million over the next 2 years in dead cap. That's a new NFL record. Who's the best, or who the potential suitors for Russell Wilson now at this point? I know you said last week with the Kirk Cousins stuff, until somebody signs Kirk Cousins, you like Kirk Cousins with everybody. But what about Russell Wilson? Where's Russell Wilson should land?
He's a Raider, isn't he? Doesn't that just scream Raiders? They're going to go and give him, and then him and, obviously Jimmy G's still technically on the roster, but he screams Raiders to me. And I mean, if we want this podcast to take off, we need to start stirring up the Raiders fans. I know we've pissed off the Bears fans, and Minnesota Vikings fans are mad at me, but we really need to stir up the Raiders fans if we want this thing to pop off. So yeah, Russell Wilson, come on down to the Raiders. I mean, to answer the question seriously, if Baker back to Tampa is a foregone conclusion, wherever Kirk Cousins lands, that the Russell's going to go to the next place after that. I think that would be pretty tough if you're a franchise that's trying to get Kirk Cousins, because if you have the pieces around him, that's a potential to make it to the NFL playoffs. And I don't think Russell Wilson gets you there. But I also think that this isn't the last quarterback that's going to hit the free agency market. I think that the Patriots, if they draft a quarterback at number 3 or trade back and draft a quarterback, they might let Mac Jones go. So, and like it or not, Mac Jones made a Pro Bowl. He's, won some games in the NFL, and frankly, Bill Belichick really didn't surround him with high-level offensive coordinator talent the past couple of years. So I think he's a trash can, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't have a career as a stopgap starter somewhere.
Yeah, no, honestly, when we're looking at Russell Wilson, looking at the teams who are suitors, potentially, I don't think the Steelers are a great fit for Kirk. I think, honestly, when you're looking at the front runners, spoiler alert for, again, here coming up soon, the front runners for, best fit for like Kirk Cousins, you're looking at either going back to the Vikings, or you're looking at a place like the Falcons, who have the potential pieces around him, who have a really good offensive line, just need another wide receiver or 2 on there. Again, the pieces that the Falcons have brought in, if you look at the contracts, again, goddamn spoiler alert, if you look at the contracts that they have, they really haven't signed a lot of bad free agents. The guys who they have signed, they've played up to those contracts and where they should be. So if Kirk doesn't go to a place like the Falcons, I think Russell should try to go there, because again, that's a really, really good starting point for a quarterback to go to try to be successful. I think the other thing too is what's the market for Russell Wilson? Is he going to want a lot of money? I don't think so. I mean, he's going to want to be a starter, but how many teams really want him to be a starter is the question.
I mean,
could he go to the Titans? Is that a team where he could go and maybe be a mentor to Will Levis? I mean, is he going to want to do that sort of thing?
I doubt it. If you're a bottom level franchise offering Russell Wilson the bag, and then you're like the Falcons that are offering him $1, go play for the Falcons, man. Like, you've already made your money, and at this point, a potential Hall of Fame career is now in doubt because of what happened in Denver. And so if you can sign on with the Falcons, take the Falcons back to the playoffs, maybe win a playoff game, or at least go to the playoffs a year or 2 in a row, maybe you're ready to ship for what your career legacy looks like. But to just go take a big old fat payday from a bottom tier team and just struggle throughout the season. But he's a weird dude. His teammates don't really like him. There's been so many, Marshawn Lynch and Richard Sherman and all this other stuff. His teammates don't really get along with him. So maybe he doesn't care about winning. Maybe he does. It's hard to say what his motivation at this point is going to be, but he's got a lot of money. His wife is rich. I just don't see how going to a team that's not going to be competitive would be a motivator for him.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Especially, I mean, when he went to the Broncos, he got so much stuff, right? He got his own private office, and he got his own almost private staff he's bringing along with him. And then, Sean Payton comes on and is like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but all this shit, get this shit out of here, because I ain't dealing with it. And everything kind of went downhill after that. I mean, the minute that Sean Payton stepped on, he's like, I don't like this guy at all. Not even a little bit. He's like, I just don't like him, So there was the shout out NFL Preem on Instagram. He posted all the way back in October about Russell Wilson getting released because because of specifically Sean Payton's not liking him and not gelling well in the locker room already. This is all the way back in October, and we're talking about here now in March, and he's getting released. Which we kind of knew all the way back in December he was, but still, I mean, I don't
Sean
know.
Payton was critical of Russell Wilson on TV before he came back to coaching, so it's kind of hard to like escape that.
Right.
Um, and boy, I wonder if Sean Payton sits there at night and thinks about the fact that the Chargers job came open this offseason and just wonders if I should have just maybe waited another year and then I'd have Justin Herbert right now. That's got to be a thought process in his head. But then
Oh,
again,
I'm sure it is.
NFL coaches are extremely competitive. That's why they do it. It's not for the
Mm,
love of the game, it's for the competitive nature.
yep.
And reestablishing the Broncos to something great, because that is a historically great franchise when you think about Elway and then Peyton and what they've accomplished in recent years. And
Yeah.
to put them back at the top of the pedestal like that would definitely be a notch in Sean Payton's Hall of Fame legacy.